So welcome again to another example of a percent word problem. Here in this example it says, what percent of 48 is 12? And in order to solve any math word problem, you need to rewrite the word problem using only math symbols. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to rewrite this word problem using only math symbols. And if you start from the left and you go to the right, the first two words of this word problem are what percent. So I'm going to rewrite these two words using a math symbol. And this is what we're trying to solve for. What percent? And since we don't know what the percent is yet, we need to find it out. We can call it anything we want. And the common letter that we use for something that we don't know is x. So I'm going to call the percent that we're solving for x. So now we can keep moving to the right. The next two words are of 48. And if you look at the chart I wrote for you on the bottom left part of the screen, the mathematical symbol for the word of is the multiplication symbol, which is just an x or a dot. So instead of writing of 48, I'm going to multiply 48. And if we keep moving to the right, the next two words are is 12. And if you look at the chart I wrote for you on the bottom left part of the screen, the mathematical symbol for the word is the equal sign. So instead of writing is 12, I'm going to write equals 12. So now we have rewrote the word problem into a math equation. X times 48 is equal to 12. So now the only thing that we need to do is solve for x and get x by itself. Notice how x is being multiplied by 48. And in order to get x by itself, you always do the opposite. So to get rid of that 48, I'm going to divide both sides by 48. And if you notice on the left-hand side, the 48s cancel out. And the only thing we're left with is x. And on the right-hand side, we have 12 over 48. Now before we continue, I want to go back to the original problem. Notice the value we set for x is a percentage because they're asking us what percent. So the value that we're trying to find, x, is actually a percentage. And right now, our value for x is a fraction. So we need to change this fraction into a percentage. And the first thing we do is change it into a decimal first. So I'm going to divide 12 by 48 in my calculator, and I'm going to change this into a decimal. If you type 12 divided by 48 into your calculator, we get 0.25. Some of you might have been able to do that in your head. 12 over 48 is 1/4, which is just 0.25. And now after we change it into a decimal, it's really easy to change it into a percentage. Whenever you go from a decimal to a percent, you always move the decimal point 2 units to the right. So that's what I'm going to do right now. If we move this point 2 units to the right, the 0.25 becomes 25. And now we have changed it into a percent. So now we have a final answer of 25%. So what percent of 48 is 12? 25% of 48 is 12.